Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to Gray's Unblocked. This is Franzber D. Gomez. This afternoon, I will be talking about Matthew chapter 4. What does it says? What does its implication to us as a believer? Let me tell you this, that Matthew chapter 4 is all about temptations. Now, when we hear the word temptations, it is always being reprimanded to us by our pastors or even by our disciples. Okay? Not to do this or not to do that, not to give into the world, and so on and so forth. Probably we are sick with this, actually. Or even I myself, I'm very sick with what we call temptation, because over and over again, I always find myself sinning. I always find my heart that is full of sin. Now, I would like to share my thoughts about this. Let's start. Matthew chapter 4. It contains temptation. What do we mean by temptation? Temptation can be synonymous into two words, enticing and luring. Let's move on. Matthew chapter 4 contains three dilemmas by Jesus where he was being summoned by the devil. First point, the devil summoned Jesus to turn the stone into bread. Second point, Jesus will jump off the hill, and he was tested that if he's really the God, then his angels would lift him up. The third point, Satan brought Jesus up the hill, and he showed all the people of the world. He showed all the kingdoms, okay, of the world. And when Jesus bowed down before him, this kingdom will be given to Jesus. The question is, did really Jesus give in to Satan? Was he being swayed by Satan? Yeah, he was being swayed, but he never ever gave in. Not just in the record of Matthew chapter 4, including the stories of Jesus from the Old Testament. Okay, he never ever gave in to the luring, to the enticement of the devil. As a believer, mind you, my dear, as a believer, temptations will always be a temptation. We should accept that fact. As a believer, we should always remind ourselves who we really are. We should remind ourselves that we are a child of God. We are being set free. We are being redeemed. Jesus sent his only begotten Son to save us from this great hell. Okay? And now, God never let his dying Son for us to let us go back to who and what we are before. I may not be that kind of perfect guy. I may not be that kind of perfect vlogger, but I'm telling you, at least we are doing our part to continually change us as to what God wants us. My very prayer is that God would really continue to increase your commitment so that when temptation comes, it would be easy for you to flee from it. This is Franzber D. Gomez saying, life is too short, don't make it shorter. Ciao.